All too soon, we've come to our discussion zone, and today we are discussing Virgil Abloh, the barrier-breaking black designer who put Ghana and the African continent on the map. Now, he is the founder of the Milan-based label Off-White, and also the artistic director of Louis Vuitton menswear, as well as the founder of his own brand of whites, like I mentioned. Now, he was a prolific collaborator with outside brands from Nike to Evian, and a popular fashion tourist whose expansive approach to design inspired comparisons with everyone from Andy Warhol to Jeff Koons. Now, Mr. Abloh transformed not just what consumers wanted to wear, bridging high beast culture and the luxury world, but what brands wanted in a designer and the meaning of fashion itself. It's sad that we're talking about him today because he has passed. I mean, death is so final, and it's like, it makes you think. I'm not doing this alone. Jeff and Epi are still here. Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Hi, Epi.
Hi.
Now, you talked about owning an off-white. Was it shorts or shirts?
Shores.
Did you know who made it?
No.
Okay, until today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling? I did not know. Now
I'm
I know.
smiling because I like to smile.
And now when I wear it, I'll wear it in memory of
Of
him.
Virgil Abloh.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're talking Virgil Abloh today. It's just sad. I mean, you hear cancer and then you immediately think of Chadwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we see these people out there, and then now, even before we get into who he was as a man and as a fashion designer and as a loved person, I believe, because so many people are saying so many good things about him, let's talk about how you see people and then you don't actually know what's happening with them. I mean, one time before Chadwick passed, there was a picture of him looking very lean, and I mean, everybody,
Was talking.
people were just saying so many mean, terrible things until his passing, and then we got to know he was suffering from a condition he had been battling for a very long time. So you see people and then you just do not jump into conclusions like that. I mean, who would have thought Virgil had cancer? You wouldn't have known.
No. He doesn't even look it.
It's just sad dying at such a young age. A man with so much potential.
And talent. I mean, this was somebody who was passionate about what he did. For him, clothes were not like just a fashion or something you wore. They were a totem. They were an identity. You know, he was a genius designer. He actually changed the scope. Looking at what Louis Vuitton was, and what Louis Vuitton was headed towards, and bringing somebody like Abloh into the picture literally transformed everything. And for them, it was like breaking the traditional barrier. One thing that Abloh believed in was the fact that when he was designing, he always said that he was creating something for his 17-year-old self, something that his 17-year-old self would be able to resonate with, something that a 70-year-old version of himself would love and be able to put themselves into. You could tell in the designs that he did when he was actually the artistic director for the Louis Vuitton brand. And you know, he hoped to inspire future generations, because especially looking at the power dynamic in it, I mean, he's black, first and foremost. He's a great designer. And look at Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is like a household name when it comes to fashion. That's like a luxury group, a place where you would not necessarily expect, as opposed to naturally you would not think certain people should be there. But finding himself in such a place, he wanted to do something that could resonate with almost everybody, cutting bridges and bringing links all across to those in the fashion world. So it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, we've seen some young men who have been inspired by him. You know, it's naturally you think men are supposed to stay in a certain context when it comes to fashion, but you have people like Abloh on the platform, and then it's changing everything. You have men going out in bold colors. You have men feeling comfortable in wearing certain designs that otherwise would have seemed odd. I mean, people would look at you weird, and then even the men themselves would judge themselves. Why am I wearing this? I'm supposed to be. But then Abloh comes in and he brings a different passion, and the fact that he understands what he's doing, he's able to explain and let it resonate with you, gives these men the confidence to be able to rock what they are wearing. So I feel that the fashion world has lost a gem.
Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, you just think about it and you're like. So we are talking about if you just tuned in, you're listening to the Africa Daily Show on Africa Global Radio. I mean, forgive me. I think death just throws me off most of the time. It's like you don't think about it, and then it hits, and then you're thinking about it. So if you just joined, you're listening to the Africa Daily Show on Africa Global Radio. This is the discussion zone, and we're talking about the late Virgil Abloh, the founder of the Off-White brand, who passed yesterday, the 28th of November 2021, to a rare form of cancer at the age of 41, which he had been battling for 2 years now. Now, Virgil redefined the idea of a modern fashion designer by adding DJ. I bet you didn't know that.
And he's also a furniture designer.
So he was a DJ, an artist, and a furniture designer. So it's like, whoa.
An architect.
Brother. It's like, okay. So after training as an architect, he started designing clothes in 2012. Now, his first design was a screen print on a Ralph Lauren rugby shirt, which sets the tone for his future work. A postmodern art stance home fashion piece. Now, he collaborated with everyone from Nike to IKEA to Perrier to Mercedes-Benz. He took fashion into arenas where it had not gone before, cross-pollinating it with other fields. Now, he also used fashion to make statements speaking up for anti-racism and anti-homophobia. It's like, he didn't just do fashion. He used fashion to preach messages. And it's just sad we're talking about him when he's gone. That brings to mind how we have to give people their flowers before they're gone. Because all these beautiful things that the world is saying about him, he's not hearing. And it's just, let's appreciate people while they are still here. Now, he was also a hugely visible figure in rap, designing the album covers for Kanye West and Jay-Z's joint album Watch the Throne, as well as Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which was his biggest album ever till date. Jeff, would you agree?
Which one?
My Twisted Dark Fantasy.
My
Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy.
Well, it's one of my favorite Kanye West albums.
I feel it was bigger than Donda.
I mean,
But we're not talking about Kanye today. So
Yeah.
Virgil also designed covers for the late Pop Smoke, West Side Gun, Octavian, and then Lil Uzi Vert. He also worked closely with Kanye West before becoming a fashion designer. In an interview, the rapper had said of Abloh, "I have all these ideas," and Virgil was able to architect them because he is an actual architect. Jeff, we're talking about Virgil Abloh.
yeah,
The late.
the late. I mean, it's surreal because when the message or when I saw post about it, I thought people were, messing around or his name had just come up again in another controversy, seeing that his last and most, will I say, memorable controversy was with him during the George Floyd protest and then some donation that he made. So I think it had to do with some $50 donation that people were coming at him for. Why is it that he donated $50 and then that wasn't the case? But then he explained later that there was actually a much larger donation he made and not the 50. But then people saw that and then it just blew out of proportion until I saw the post and then I followed up. I was like, oh, this is really for real. For me, when I had heard of Virgil Abloh, it was with the Off-White brand. But then it was a friend of mine who was like, oh, he worked with Kanye, or he's been working with Kanye for some time now. And I had to go check this. There was a movie made for My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy. So it was sort of a compilation of the songs he had done on the album that he fitted into a movie concept, which he called Runaway.
Okay.
Yeah, for one of the songs on the album, which is Runaway. So it themed the whole thing. And then as part of executive producers and I think directors also, I saw his name in there. And this was as far back as 2010. I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, so Virgil has been in this thing for quite some time now. And then seeing the Louis Vuitton artistic director position he held and the fashion show that came after it.
Yeah.
And then even recently collaborating with the Asaka movement, with Asaka, like
Okay.
Life Living Records. So he's been working with them hand in hand. I mean, pushing his off-white brand with them. So that was what even got people, talking about him more around last year thereabouts.
Yeah.
So to see that this went down, it's really, I don't know. Music, art, fashion have really lost
Yep.
someone huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Louis Vuitton put out a press release, and this is what it said. LVMH, Louis Vuitton, and Off White are devastated to announce the passing of Virgil Abloh on Sunday, November 28th, of cancer, which he had been battling privately for several years. We are all shocked after this terrible news. Virgil was not only a genius designer, a visionary, he was also a man with a beautiful soul and great wisdom. The LVMH family joins me in this moment of great sorrow, and we are all thinking of his loved ones after the passing of their husband, their father, their brother, or their friend.
Yeah, I think they're not the only ones to literally be in the sad space right now. You have a couple of people who have actually also been put in that state. Uh, you had Gigi Hadid, Hailey Bieber, Justin Timberlake. These are
Yeah,
among the stars who are paying
not to cut you,
tribute
but apparently
to
he
them.
designed Haley's
Hailey's
wedding
wedding
gown. I
gown,
was
yes.
like,
She said she actually chose him
oh,
because of his street style. Because of the way he had this thing for the street, she chose him to actually design the gown. So they've shared a string of photos of them together, and some of them, Hadid was saying that she's heartbroken by the loss of a dear friend and a friend to the world. He was one of one, and he will continue to inspire me every day. V, I feel blessed and honored by every moment. Now, Timberlake also wrote, what can you say when a force like Virgil Abloh is taking too soon? You gave the world so much in so little time and created with intensity. Knowing better than the rest of us that life is short, but anything is possible. I'm honored to have known you. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. Now, Baiba shared photos of herself with Abloh. Yeah, Biba. Shared photos of herself with Abloh in her wedding dress that he designed. And one thing she said was he was somebody who always brought life, charisma, love, and fun to any situation and every room that he walked into. It's like a once in a generation creative mind that is so rare, and I'll never forget his impact. We love you, Virgil. And you have the British Vogue editor, Edward Eninful. Well, he's also among some of the celebrities who are actually calling on the president in our base Ghana to allow for the LGBTQ plus community to move. Yes. So, well, he said a giant among men. Virgil Abloh changed the fashion industry. Famously prolific, he always worked for a greater cause than his own illustrious career to open the door to art and fashion for future generations so that they, unlike himself, would grow up in a creative world with people to mirror themselves in. And finally, yes, you have Bernard Arnault, the chief executive of Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton, the owner of both Off-White and Louis Vuitton, he said that Virgil was not only a designer, a genius designer, but a visionary, a man with a beautiful soul and great wisdom.
and Kylian Mbappe tweeted this. He said, Kylian is a footballer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. He said, RIP Virgil Abloh. No one will forget the impact you had. God bless you, my friend. Now, Complex Sneakers said, rest in peace, Virgil Abloh, the definition of the word icon and one of the most influential designers in history. Now, Lauren Sherman tweeted, Virgil Abloh lived the S out of his life. Let that be a lesson. I mean, there's so many tweets that we can read from the Ghanaian public, from the world, from the fashion industry globally. So many people are telling us of the great man that he is. Now, on to reading more tweets. Kweku DMC, Jeff, you know him.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. He said, I'm broken already. Your message is making me lose my soul. Virgil Abloh, you know we didn't complete the task and the goals we set for the motherland. I'm broken for the first time. I'm broken. give me back my energy. Well, so today we are remembering a great man, a fashion designer, a DJ, an architect.
And I think we could also mention he happens to be Louis Vuitton's first black artistic director. So that literally made him the most powerful black man when it comes to that luxury group.
He was the first of many.
First of many.
The first of many. It's just sad, and it just breaks my heart because even reading Kweku DMC's tweet, he talks about how they didn't complete the task and the goals we set for the motherland. It's like all of these goals, all of these dreams will be buried. And it's just sad. I mean, he, like one of the tweets said, he lived his life to the fullest. But it's just sad that a person so great, a person so talented, his life will be cut short at this very short age. I mean, somebody would think, oh, 41, but it's like 41 is still too young. And I don't know if he was succeeded by a wife.
Yes,
Yes,
he's
that's
actually been
right.
succeeded by a wife
And
and
two
then
kids.
2 kids. He has children.
Well, now I'm thinking about the kids.
The
How
wife
are
is
they
Shannon, and the children you have Lowe and Gray.
How are they going to tell them that he's no longer coming home?
Together.
Probably old enough to comprehend, but I mean, it wouldn't be something that they
But-
would be able to
Grasp at
yeah,
once.
at once.
It's like
Yeah. It's going to take a while.
it's
This is Kobe Bryant all over again.
this is Chadwick all over
This
again.
Chadwick, I mean, and we're all in their 40s. I mean, can you imagine?
Well, my words are finished.
But
It
then
wa-
you take our time to actually look at what it is he's done, and then you realize we should celebrate him more because of the work he's made or the input he's made. Because, I mean, you're looking at huge brands like Louis Vuitton, the LVMH, which is the Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton merger, and then his own brand Off-White.
Off-White was really big.
Off-White was huge.
I mean, there was a time where every time it was all you could see was Off-White. You're seeing a belt there. You're seeing a shirt here.
Shirt.
You're seeing your shorts
Funny
there.
pack. Everybody's just
Well, closing remarks, Epi.
The fashion industry has lost an icon. I mean, if
The continent, the
literally,
country.
we've lost an icon. But for those that do not know him, you can actually go read on him properly to understand more and get to get the impact of what he's done. For those in the fashion industry, condolences going to his family as well, to all those that have ever worked with him. We can't necessarily get over his death, but we hope that the memories he's shared with each and every one is something that people would hold on to and cherish. And, you know, Off-White will continue. As you go out purchasing something different, or as you're embracing this streetwear luxury wear thing, just know that it was Virgil Abloh that brought it about.
Jeff, do you have anything more to say?
what else can we say? I mean, aside celebrating the man, it's also a reminder to pursue what it is you have on your mind. You could tell that this was somebody who was very ambitious with the many things he's been able to make, and with the names that he's collaborated with. When you see the tributes coming in, it makes you realize how far and how impactful his work has been, seeing that it's been with that huge, or people that he's been with, I mean, are that much of a big deal. So it will make you know that, oh, indeed, when you put in the work, you definitely have people as big as that get to your circle, and then you get to collaborate with them, and then it expands your dream more, because he didn't limit it to one thing or another thing. He made sure that it branched into other avenues. So you find him in the DJ section, you find him doing artistic direction for these people, creating designs for other people. I mean, and even architecture with IKEA, doing furniture, brands like gray area and all of those things. So it's a thing to not limit yourself, but see your potential as something that you can be able to transfer into other avenues. And then, if I remember anything that was in relation to something like this, it was, I think, a statement by Quentin Tarantino. He was like, when you're an artist, you want to live on a high note. Don't want to just be making stuff and have you be around too much.
Yeah.
So it has to get to a point where you have to make the people miss you, so that it doesn't be like, oh, he's around all the time and he'll just be dropping work all the time. So even with Quentin like this, he made a limit. Like he said, I'll just produce or I'll direct 12 movies and that's it. He said 10 and then later he moved to 12 and said that's it. He wouldn't come back into the scene. So we can't say that he predicted his death or something, but then living on this note alone is that much of a high that will make people be like, oh yeah, because if you would expect something from him in the next year or so, you don't know what it is you bring out. It might be lackluster, it might be, you don't know. But then we will accept it as it is for now, even though it's still surreal that it's happened and then the tributes are flying in and we are still trying to take in the death and what it means to us. Ghana, Africa, the world has lost someone great, someone huge.
Thank you. Well, if you don't know, this is a reminder. Death is always a reminder for us to live our lives to the fullest. It's like, do that thing you've always been thinking of. There's this quote that I always see that they say, live your life, live every day like it's your last. If there's something on your mind, do it. Forgive easily. Don't hold yourself back, because you never know when you're watching your last sunset. I mean, some people get sick and then they're given timelines. It's like you would only live up to a year. And you see them do all the things they have always wanted to do before the time elapses. Not all of us will have it like that. So while we're still here, while we still have breath, live your life to the fullest and enjoying the whole world. I've said this so many times today. May the soul of Virgil Abloh and the souls of all the people that we have lost rest in perfect peace.